28th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay, so this brisa is saying that since this shover has already been certified in Bezdin, it's already as a henpek, therefore, even though it's coming from the hands of the malva, he's the one who's producing the shover. It's in his possession. Nevertheless, we're going to say that the shover is kosher, meaning to say it's a valid proof that the loiva has already paid. Because if it would be otherwise, then the loiva had not yet paid it, so it would not have this. It would the Bezdin would not have affixed their certification to it. Because Bezdin does not write a henpek on a document unless unless that is so. Bezdin einem kosvin henpek elim kain huvrar lehem shemash katuv bo emes. That's what a henpek is. A henpek is really like the Bezdin is saying, we have examined what it says in this document, and we have found that what it's written in this document is true. What is written in a shover? What's written in the shover is that Jew number 2 has paid his loan to Jew number 1 who lent him money. Now, that's what it says on this piece of paper. But is it true? Right? Maybe the malva was holding it in anticipation of the lova, like we've been saying, to give it to him. And if he gives it to him on Erev Shabbos, he doesn't have it, so he's not going to get the money. But he hasn't actually given him the money yet. It's just it's just been prepared so that when he does give him, he'll be able to give this shover to him as a proof. But if the Bezdin has affixed their handpick on this document, so then that's the end of the story. They have already determined that this document is true, meaning that what it says there is true. And what it says is that the Lova has paid his obligation. So it doesn't matter that the Malva he's the one that has the documents. Doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to make up any stories over here. And so accordingly, this doesn't represent any question on Rav Yirmiyah whatsoever. Rav Yirmiyah will also agree, of course, that a shover that has a henpick written on it, of course, is a kosher shover. He's talking about a shover that does not have a henpick written on it. Okay. Okay. Let's continue in the Gemora.
We're on Kaf Aleph.
Aleph, Amud Aleph. Hachinami Mistavra. Middle of the third line from the top.
Hachinami Mistabra. This is also the more reasonable explanation. Mide Katane Seifa. For the conclusion of the Brisa has taught Vishe'ain Alav Adim that a receipt that does not have witnesses that have signed it, puzzle, it's invalid. My ain alav adim. Why does the Brisa? I'm sorry. What does the Brisa mean when it states that the receipt does not have witnesses on it? Ilema deleka e lave adim klal. If you say it means that there are no signatures of witnesses on it at all, tarich lememar de puzzle. It is it even necessary to mention that it's invalid? Is it not quite? It is quite obvious that the lender need not abide by such a receipt. Ella lav ade kiyum. Rather, you must not say that the witnesses mentioned in this brisa refer to the witnesses who certify the signatures on the receipt. Let me try that again. Rather, you must not say that the witnesses mentioned in this brisa refer to the witnesses who certify. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm reading it wrong. Rather, must you not say that the witnesses mentioned in this brisa refer to the witnesses who certify the signatures on the receipt? Thus, the brisa teaches that if the receipt found in the lender's possession is not certified, even if it is signed by witnesses, it is not valid, as Rav Yirmiyah bar Abba taught.
Okay. Let's see.
There's no Rashi on that.
Einolov Edekium.
We did that before. That's later on. And we where?
This is so confusing, these Rashis. It's driving me crazy.
Einolov Edekium. You think that's there? Let me take a look.
I don't know why this should be so difficult. Achanami Mustabra, Midiktani Seifa, She'einolov Edim Pasul.
I mean, there is in the Rashi, Elalav Einikim. Yes, there isn't any. Isn't it that there is? No, but that would be later because that Yitkayim B'Chomuto comes later on.
We need a Rashi's to explain us which Rashi to read.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Okay, so the Gemara is trying to prove the point we just got through saying. What did we just get through saying? The Brisa that says if you got a simpon that doesn't have Adim, rather that it does have Adim, that simpon is kosher. So we explain what is the Adim that it's referring to? It's referring to Ede Kiyum, meaning to say that it's got a henpek. It's got a certification from the Bezdin. It's already come to the Bezdin. It's already been certified by the Bezdin. As opposed to just ordinary witnesses that signed their names onto this document. And it wasn't done in Bezdin. So now the Gemara says, Hakinami Mistabra. That makes sense. That's what the Brisa, that's the witnesses that the Brisa is talking about. Because why? Because it says in the Sefer of that Brisa that we just got through quoting, if the simpon does not have witnesses, it's puzzle. So he said, what does it mean that it doesn't have witnesses and it's puzzle? If you say it means that it doesn't have any edim on it whatsoever, so it's just a piece of paper, and it just says that Ploni paid his obligation to Ploni. Jew number 2 paid off Jew number 1's obligation, and it's not signed by witnesses. So then Says the Gemara, would we need a brisa to tell me such a thing, that document is not valid proof that there's been any payment made? Of course not. That's pashut that doesn't need to be in the brisa. That's not any proof of a payment. So therefore, what should we say when the Sefer says that the simpon does not have edim, and in that event it'll be pasul? Then we're elalav. It doesn't have on it ede kiyum. Now we're defining that ede kiyum to mean it doesn't have the certification from the Bezdin, but it does have signatures on it. It has signatures of two witnesses. But since it doesn't have ede kiyum, it hasn't been established. Its truth has not been established in Bezdin. The Bezdin didn't affix their handpick, their certification on the shover. So even though it has witnesses on it, we say that the shover is pasul, since it came from the hand of the malva, and the malva is saying that it's pasul.
So the Bryce is saying that if it has witnesses but there's no henpeck, it's tantamount to that it had no witnesses?
No, the witnesses that the Bryce is talking about are ede kiyum. It's a bit confusing over here. Ede kiyum, what that means is, like Rashi said, ede kiyum means that the Bezdin wrote a henpick. They wrote a certification on the document. Maybe I don't know, tell you the truth. Maybe there's witnesses that certify. It doesn't make any sense to me, right? If Bezdin puts a henpick on a document, it's like that's their stempel. That itself is edus. That the Bezdin has seen this document and they have certified it to be a true document. So when we're saying ede kiyum, that's what Rashi says we're referring to. Rashi Dibra Maskal Ede Kiyum, it's the second line in the Rashi from the top of the page. Rashi says Shekosfu Henpik, that the Bezdin wrote their certification on the shover. That's what we're referring to when we say Ede Kiyum. We're basically saying that the Bezdin has established that this document is true, and they've affixed their henpeck. Their stempel is on the document. That's what we mean when we say ede kiyum, as opposed to what we call ede chasumim, the signatures of witnesses that signed on the document. So if all you have is a document that says that Jew number 2 paid Jew number 1 the loan that he owed him, and you even have two guys, Beryl and Shmerel, that signed their name on it. So according to this brisa, that is not a sufficient proof that the payment was made. Until the brisa is saying that until you got ede kiyum, and you don't have a shover which is kosher. A shover which is kosher is defined as a shover which has ede kiyum. What's ede kiyum? The henpeck of the Bezdin,
which is obtained by the Bezdin examining the witnesses and verifying that their signature is true.
Oh, what does it mean? Does the Bezdin go to the core of the issue? Do they find out whether the guy actually paid? I don't know. Tell you the truth.
Because I'm wondering, you could go to the next stage and you could say, well, how do we know the henpeck is true? Maybe we don't question the Bezdin.
The Bezdin says, you're right. You're asking a good question. You're asking, what exactly does the Bezdin do to determine that this is a true document?
Right.
What does it mean that it's a true document? It means that what it says on it is true. What does it say on it? It says that Jew number 2 paid his obligation to Jew number 1. Now we want to know, is that true? Is that true? So the Bezdin, when they put their handpick on it, it means that they're certifying that it's true. So you're asking a question. It's a valid question. What exactly does the Bezdin do in order to put, before they put their handpick? Is it enough, in other words? Is it enough that they investigate the authenticity of the 2 signatories and they find out that they're 2 real guys and that they actually were the 2 guys that signed their names over here? And with that, they say, oh, well, they obviously wouldn't have signed their name unless they saw that the Levitt paid off the Malva, right? They're not going to sign their name unless it's because they're signing their name on something which it says they're signing to what the document says. So they're the ones that are vouching for the fact that the payment was made.
Right.
So if so, maybe all the Bezdin has to do is what do you call it? All the Bezdin has to do is determine that the signatures are valid and authentic and not a forgery. And once they do that, they put on a handpick. But we said yesterday in defense of Rabbi Yirmiyah, we said that we have a Tosefta that said Simpon Sheyeshalov Edim Yiskaimu B'Chosamav, and then it'll be good. And we thought that was a kasha on Rabbi Yirmiyah, who said that no, if as long as it's in the hand of the Malva, he's got a koach to say that the document is no good. It's puzzle. I haven't received the payment. And the Gemora said, oh, what does it mean that is kayim b'chosamav, that they validate the signatures? It means that they ask them, Shailinan luhus lasahade. We ask the witnesses, I parua, I lo parua. And we said that was quite a chiddush, because that's not the simple understanding of the words Yiskayim b'chosamav. Yiskayim b'chosamav generally means that we verify that the signatures are valid. But once we verify that the valid signatures, then we take the word of the signatories that what they're signing their name on that really happened. That's what a whole star is. otherwise, what's the whole strength of a star? If you're in any case going to ask the witnesses that signed on it, now, did what you signed over here, that you say that it happened, let me tell us the truth. Did it really happen? Obviously, if they that's what they're citing their names on, that it happened, that the guy paid him. So all we have to do is what do you call it? Is determine that those signatures are not forgeries. And if so then we validate the document. We put our handpick on it. Except that the way the Gemora answered over there, they didn't answer like that. They said, no, we asked them, was there a payment made or not? So if you accept that answer the Gemora said, then I don't know what to answer you over here. It would seem like we got to say the same thing over here. I don't know. because we're talking about a special case. What's the special case over here that we're talking about? We're talking about a shover. And a shover, if the thing has been actually paid, right? If the lova actually did pay, then where should we find the shover? In whose hands should we find this shover?
The lova.
In the lova's hands. So the whole thing is a big question over here. If the lova actually paid it off, so why is it in the hands of the malva? So Rav Yirmiyah says, the reason why it's in the hands of the malva is because the lova never paid. Then the Gemora is bringing all these brises that show that even though the shover is in the hand of the malva, we say that the document is kosher. So we have to answer every single one of these brises. Okay.
Okay, it's time. Take care. Be well.
Have a good day, Rabbi. Thank you. See you, Phil.
Ezrat Hashem. Don't worry, we're going to get to the bottom of this one day.
We only have a couple of lines left and we finish the Perek, so there should be, hopefully there's an answer before that.
We got to get to the bottom. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Kol Tuv.